So change is the norm. We've heard this so many times. And when I chose this topic, I said, okay, let's make it more relevant to how change impacts us as professionals and more importantly as entrepreneurs. So let's get started. So what is really change management? According to Wikipedia, change management is really a collective term. It encompasses all of those approaches that we use to prepare, to support, and to help change take place at various levels within an organization. And this could be at an individual level, at a team level, at an organization level, at an entrepreneurial level, and what have you. And then it has all of those methods, it has all of those initiatives that as a leader, as an entrepreneur, we need to take to be able to make use of the best of our resources, the way we want to really budget, the way we want to make that shift from what it was before to where we want to go, and to allocate resources in a way that it really helps us get there and achieve that, and so many much more. So it is not a simple term, it's not a simple process. It really does take a lot of effort to get this change across. And I'm sure everybody here today has gone through change. And as a world order, we have experienced so much of a change in the last few years as well. So organizational change management would then consider all of those needs. And while change management may be used to also refer how people and teams are affected by any organizational transition, it also deals with many of those different disciplines. It could be from behavioral sciences to even social sciences to information technology and business solutions. So why change? Now we all know globalization and constant innovation of technologies has resulted in constantly evolving business environment. These phenomena have revolutionized the business, and the effect of this is an ever increasing need for change and therefore change management. With the business environment experiencing so much of change, organizations must then learn to become comfortable with change as well. And hence, the ability to manage and adapt to that change becomes an essential ability required in the workplace today. However, we also know that major and rapid organizational change is profoundly difficult because there is so much of structure, there's culture, there's routines, there's those difficult things of the past that we want to get over, and then the resistance to any kind of radical change, even as the current organization is going through, changes rapidly. In fact, if I had to talk about in a nutshell, now due to the growth of technology, modern organization today is largely motivated by more of the exterior innovations rather than the internal factors. And when these developments occur, the organization obviously that adapts the most quickest. We all have heard and we all know what happened to Nokia. So the organization that adapt the quickest, they will create the competitive advantage for themselves, while the companies that refuse to change obviously get left behind. And this can result in drastic profits, market share changes. In fact, the entire company must learn to handle the change such that the effectiveness of that change management has a positive impact on employee morale. Now, there are various ways in which change can happen, and there are a few models here. And the lean change management, it's it's an ecosystem of modern change management. It was created by Jason Little, and he was inspired by the lean starter, by agile and design thinking elements. It is basically designed to help change agents create an adaptable and a contextual approach to change. It, of course, focuses on creating shared purpose over creating false urgency. The next one, the Kurt Lewin's three-step change, and we've also heard this one. It's the unfreezing, the changing, and the refreezing. So this is where the refreezing, or rather the three-step process, it destabilizes the equilibrium and it unleashes some energy for change. The changing stage involves entering the change using collaboration and action research, and the rephrasing is the stabilizing stage. Then comes John Porter's 8-step process for leading change. We all know that he's a pioneer of change management. He invented the 8-step process for leading change. And again, that is a topic by itself. And these steps are very much tied to the Lewin's model, which is that 3-step model, and they build upon his simplistic process of creating change. And finally, we are going to talk about the Proskay-Adkar model today. And this is that model, which is basically an individual change framework created by Jeff. So Adkar is basically an acronym that represents the 5 building blocks of successful change for an individual. We will talk about those. It is a prescriptive, it is a goal-oriented model in which each milestone must be achieved to define success. So there's always more to learn, right? So a CEO once called a board meeting and announced a series of changes. The meeting went on for 20 minutes and all the members and other staff members were very stressed. And post that meeting, to everybody's surprise, the company implemented the change and it was a smooth transition. So guess where the company was operating from? Anyone? Okay, they were operating from dreamland. So change is a complex and difficult process, yet it is inevitable to the current business scenario. Why? Organizations that can adapt to change and improve their processes continuously manage to survive and grow in today's world. Now, we all know that managing change is not easy. It leads to even handling people's emotions. And you can only truly implement change successfully when you also involve the team. You can't do it alone. And the Adkar model that was developed by Jeff in 2003, this is one of the change management models which provides a 5-step framework to deal with the people's aspect of change management. And this is what we're going to learn today. So it stands for the 5 goals that must be reached in order to achieve successful change. What are those? Number 1, awareness. Number 2, desire. Number 3, knowledge. Then number 4, we have ability. And then number 5, we have reinforcement. So number 1, awareness. Now the purpose is to bring your employees out of their comfort zone. And this cannot be done till people understand why change is necessary and needed. So one must address the issues which triggered the situation. And to do this, a good 2-way communication is to remove any sort of confusion. So encourage your people to ask questions and also make suggestions. Understanding the need for change and willingness to participate, the processes are not similar. So if you really want to make change happen, right, they support the entire system, which is if you like the change, then they're with you. And if they don't like it, then they become an obstacle of the process. To generate the need for change in people, one must define the changes that are going to be beneficial for them. And that's really what we want to do with change management. Number 2, what to do and how to do. So change cannot happen if people don't know what is it that you really want them to do. They need to know, they need to really understand what is it that they need to deliver. So providing the necessary knowledge to perform the job, right? It doesn't mean you can start driving results. So only after gaining the knowledge, one must develop the necessary skills and the ability to perform the tasks without any mistakes. And this also assures the leader that there won't be any costly errors on the part. Okay. Now we know that, during the pandemic, many companies announced work from home for all the employees. And unless people knew how they are going to work or how they're going to contribute, one could not expect results from the team. And we all know as leaders and even as HR professionals, people just went overboard. And they were trying to do so many things so that people stayed connected and they were able to, handle their stress. And for the organizations, they went, from having no digital base to being highly digitalized operations, so that not just business, but also life continuity could, be in place. So abilities. Now, here is where we want to talk about the skills, the the right kind of attitude, the right kind of mentoring that we wish to give the people, so that their questions are answered and they know exactly what they want to do. So right from awareness to desire to knowledge, then to ability, which takes us to the last one, which is reinforcement. Okay, this is the final step of the ADKAR process. It means continuously practicing and implementing the new systems that we have created, so that it becomes new normal for people. And now people are so much used to working from homes. People have adopted the hybrid work culture, and something that was unbelievable a couple of years ago is now truly very easy, and people have changed, and it didn't take too much. Yes, it took a lot of lives, a lot of toll, but today it looks like could we have done it if COVID wasn't there? No, I don't think so. We couldn't have. So when we look at the way people have moved, it's important as leaders, it's important for the manager, it's important for the business leader to make that extra effort in giving and guiding people, giving them lots of feedback, making it constructive, so that people know exactly where they need to go, so that it all helps us bring about the change that we're all working towards. People really want to know how they're performing. And so leaders are always advised to communicate how their efforts are bringing and, in fact, contributing towards achieving their goals. So that was the ADKAR model, which is used for troubleshooting change processes, in fact, which are dysfunctional. So communicate often, brainstorm your process against the ADKAR model, and find the missing link. And once you find it, you can always correct it. So you can look at creating a session where people say, okay, we have a problem, and let's say, okay, I have some ideas. And then another person says, let's make a plan. And the fourth one says, let's make it work. So yeah, let's make it work. This is the ADKAR for you in summary: awareness of the need for change, then triggering the desire to participate and support in the change, knowledge of what to do during and after the change, and then helping people build on those abilities so that they're able to implement the change as required. Finally, reinforcement to ensure that the results of a change continue long after they are required. So, in a nutshell, the most dangerous phrase in the language is we have always done it this way, which means people are averse to change. So let's not hope that we go down that path or create a culture where we actually help employees move forward, the business move forward, all the stakeholders move forward for what is in front of us. Thank you so much.